Hey, good morning guys. In today's session, we are going to discuss about arrays in JavaScript. So what is an array? An array is a collection of elements. See, arrays are not only in JavaScript, in other programming languages also we have arrays like if you can see C language, C++, Java, .NET, Python, PHP, everywhere we have the concept called arrays. But in our JavaScript, an array is a collection of elements. Just I'm stopping. But whereas if you can go C language, an array is a collection of elements of similar data type. I mean, if you can define an array with integer, so the array should contain all integer values only. But whereas in JavaScript, we are not using any data types, int array, float array, such a manner. So we don't need to use the data types while declaring the variables, just we can use the var keyword while declaring the variables. And here, what is the difference between a normal variable and an array variable? Generally, the second point is saying that by using arrays, we can store multiple values in a single variable. Whereas in a normal variable, what we can do, we can just store one value. If you want to store multiple values in a single variable, it's better to go with an array, right? So, and next thing, in how many ways we can create an array here? We have two ways to create an array. One is by using array literal and one more by using new keyword. Right? So let us see the syntax of the arrays also here, where ARR equal to value 1, value 2, value 3 and so on so on. The value could be anything. Here, very important, the last point, did you see the value of an array may be a number or a string or an array or an object also. Right? Remember, I will show you some examples what could be the value of an array. Right? So you can take anything inside the array, guys. For example, if you can go to C language, int array, if I define, I need to take all the integer values only in that array. But whereas in our JavaScript, we don't need to maintain in such a way, right? Any value, and our array, JavaScript array is a mixed type. So it contains any type of value. If you can create one array, in that array, you can take integer, float and array and object, all mix also we can take. Or also we can take same type of values also in an array. That's exactly what happened in our JavaScript. Next thing here, let me show you how can I create an array here, right? So come to the example here. Just I want to show you how to create an array. Where let us take a variable here, ARR equal to, this is the syntax we can create. So as per the syntax, we have value 1, value 2. This is what I written as part of the syntax here, value 2 comma and so on so on. This is array creation. Right? So let us give some examples here with some data. Let us go with the 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. This is an array I created. What type of array this is? This array contain all same type of values, all the numbers only, and moreover every value in the array should be separated by comma. That's important thing, right? So this is one array. Let me go with one more array, guys. I'm going to create one more array. Now in this array, I want to just maintain all the string values. Here I'm taking something called welcome. Let us have some more value called hello. Yes, guys, this is also an array. Do you see? Here we have an array with same type of values. Here also we have an array with same type of values. Nothing but they are all strings, and here they are all numbers. JavaScript, we don't have int float concept. We have something called numbers. I mean, JavaScript will treat it as everything as a number. I mean, either it is a integer value or it is a float value. It is going to be a number data type in JavaScript. And do you see the second array contain all the string values? Here the string may be in either double quote or single quote. Now I am going to create one more array. All of you check it carefully. This array is going to be mixed. Let us go with welcome. I'm going with 10, 20. So let us come with one more string here, hello. And I want to take some boolean values also, true. And you can take something called false as well. This is also an array. We can create an array like this also. All the three arrays which I created, 1, 2, 3, are clearly valid arrays in our JavaScript. Yes, we can create like this also. ORR, an array may also contain arrays, guys. For example, this is an array here. So no values are there in this. Now I am going to create an array inside an array also. This is what array exactly I am going to create like this. So this is an array. This array again contain three values, but all the three values are arrays, guys, here. Now let us go have some values in the internal arrays here. Right, let us have some strings here. You can take any value here, no problem. So some array may contain one value, some array may contain two values or three values, right? So something like this, false. Can you see? This is my array, right? Now again I am going to create an array. This array may contain only objects as well. We don't know this array. We can create like this also. Sometimes guys, in real time, when we are requesting data from a server, the data will come as an array of objects. I mean, they will send the data to us in a JSON format. The JSON format we have to convert into JavaScript object. So when you are converting that, we will get an array of object. So if your data was in an array of object, how can we iterate it? So that's also we are going to see. Let us see. Now this is an array which contain collection of objects. So we know object denoted with literal curly bracket literal, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this is an array. This array contain 4 objects, right? So here earlier array contain 3 arrays. I mean, what are these 3 elements? 3 elements. Here we have 6 elements. Here we have 3 elements. Here also we have 5 elements. See, the element of an array may be a number or an array or an object or any. These are all primitives. Primitive data types, they are all. You can use any primitive data type, or you can use array inside an array, or you can use array inside an object as well. So we know object syntax, right? So object values will look like this. Name, something like this. Let us have some name here, and let us have one more key, city, and let us have something called HYD. Like this we can create multiple objects. This array may contain so multiple objects or single object also. That's what our choice. This is this is an array which contain multiple values. Nothing but all values are objects here. See, what are all the arrays I created? All are valid things. If you have any confusion, you can print one by one here. Now I'm just going to print console.log arr. This is just arr printed. Let us go with the arr1 array. I'm just printing. Next arr3. This is 3. Oh, sorry, this is 2, right? Yeah, this is 2, and this is going to be 3 and 4, something like this. Let us copy quickly and change the label. That's enough, right? This is the arr3 and this is the arr4. Now you can check it. So no problem, everything will be worked properly. Array of 4. Now you can refresh the page so that we can see the output. Let us run the file. So check this. I'm going to click F12. Can you see? All 4 arrays are created. The first array is nothing but having 5 values. And do you observe here, what is this 0, 1, 2? I didn't create anything, right? While creating arrays, am I provide any index to it? No, I didn't provide any index to it. But how they are coming automatically? Yeah. And moreover, why should I need index? That we will see in a minute, right? So come here, array. Second array contain 3 values and we are getting the same. And third array contain mixed. So it is nothing but contain 6 values here. And the fourth array is nothing but array of arrays. Important, check it carefully. First array. In the first array, we have, see guys here, this is the array, contain 3 values. Again, the first element in this array is an array, contain 4 values. Here it contain 3 values, it contain 3 values again. Now the last thing is here, array of objects. Can you see? This array contain 4 objects. Can you see? This is an object. Can you see? If I keep mouse on it, a tooltip is coming. Do you observe? A small tooltip is coming, that is saying that object. So first element is an object, second element is an object, third and fourth, all the elements of that array is going to be an object. I mean, my intention is here, an array may contain any type of value in our JavaScript. That's what. Next, we are going to see about the array iteration. Okay, let me keep this in comment for a while. So first of all, how can we access array values? The above array contain 5 values. I want to access this 30. So why should I use, for example, here I have a variable where x equal to 100. If you want to print it, how you can print? Simply we can go console.log and we can print it as a x. That's it. X value will be printed in the console. Then you can check it. X is printed. But this is a single variable, I mean this variable contain a single value, what I want to say. Right now, if we can observe this array contain multiple values. Then if it is a contain multiple values, how can we access those in these multiple values? I want to access only specific value from that array. I want to access only 30. Yes, how can I access only 30 here? Simple thing guys here. So remember, in array we observed in the console, right? So what is this index guys here? Every element has some index, nothing but. So this is having some index. What is this index of it? This is having some index here. This is also having some index. This is also having some index. Why these indexes are required for us? See, we are storing multiple values in a single variable. So whenever you want to access a specific value from that an array, we need an address. The address is nothing but an index. So by using that index, we can access the array values. And moreover, array index will always starts with 0. Right? Array index starts with 0. So first element 10. So what is the position? So the address of 10 is 0. So based on the 0, this is what exactly the array contain 5 values. If you want to access those values individually, then guys see, we have the way here. This is an array. If you want to access array value, we have to use this array notation. In this, pass the index. Which value you want to access? That index, if you can pass in that array, so definitely we will get the value. Let me go and print it. Console.log. Just I am printing this array. Check it. Just only one value. If we can, without index, if we can print, what is going to happen? It can print whole array. Can you see now? It is going to print whole array. Now I am going to use some index here. So this is nothing but the address of the specific element. I am passing 0. Now can you see? I am getting the output as 10 here. You are accessing the specific element from an array. So specific element in the sense we need its address. Address are nothing but the position or nothing but index. For example, we have a class. In that class we have 100 students. Every student should require some ID. Why? Because to identify them uniquely. In the same manner, array also should contain. Array may contain 10 values, 20 values, 100 values, but every value should contain an index. That is nothing but the address of the value. So based on that address, we can access this, guys. This here address is nothing but index. Right? If you want to access 30, what is the position of 30 here? 2. Let us have check it. You are getting 30 also. If you want to get all the values, yes, we can get all the values here. Just I am going with 1, 2, and this is 3, and this is 4. Yeah, now you can see we have 0, 2, 4, 5, and you can check it. All the 5 values are going to be printed here. Right? If you want, you can print on the screen also, no problem. Right? So this is what exactly. Now I am trying with array of 5. Can you see, guys, here? Array of 5. What is this array of 5 here? Right? Do you have 5 indexes? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 indexes only I have in my array, but I am trying to access an element which is in the 5th position. But do you have any 5th position in the array? I don't have any 5th position in my array. Now you can just refresh it. You have something called undefined. Can you see? There is no such a position in our array. What is the position? We are trying to access the position 5. So that's the reason we are getting the problem, right? Okay, guys, this is how we can access the values individually. So, but is this correct way of iterating values here? No, nothing. I want to iterate my array values. How can we iterate array values here? That's the question. So, if you want to iterate array values here, for example, let us assume this array data is coming from database or some other service, whatever it may be. Sometimes that array may contain 1 value, 10 values, 100 values, 200 values also. So as per that we have to write the logic dynamically. So if array contain 10 values, we have to iterate it. If array contain 100 values, and we have to iterate it without changing the logic. We can't open the file every time. For example, right now I have 5 values. I written the logic. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have 100 times, 100 values, will you open the file and will you write 100 times again? No, this is not correct. This is not dynamic. So we have to be flexible with these guys. So we need to write a loop here, right, to iterate all the values. What loop we can write? We can use any one of the loop, guys. Whatever the loops we have discussed earlier with you, and you can use any one of the loop here, either for loop, while loop, do while loop, or for in, also we can use, guys. Here let us see how can we iterate array values based on the size of an array. So how many values are there in that array? 10 values, huh? I need to repeat the loop 10 times. If you have only one value, I have to repeat only one time. So this is how we are going to write it, guys. Let us see here. Let me show you one property here. In arrays, arr.length is a predefined property to find the length of an array. To find the length of an array, just let me show you how many values are there in this array. Console.log, just I am printing it. Can you check? The length of an array is going to be 5 because we have 5 values. If you want, you can increase the values. Yes, you can increase the values, no problem. Just I am going with some values here. Refresh it and you can check the length of an array is going to be 8. 8 values are there. So I need to repeat the loop 8 times. So arr.length, guys, length is a predefined property. It is not a function. Function means we can expect parenthesis at the end of it, right? There is no parenthesis here. So this is a property. By using this property, we can find the length of an array. So let us see. Why should I find length here? I want to iterate. When we are iterating, at least we need to know the length, the depth of an array. How many times the loop should be iterated? 1 time or 2 times or 3 times. So how do we know? Based on the length. For every loop, we need to know starting point. We know the starting point is 0. Why 0? Because array index starts with 0. What is my ending point? That means that how many times the loop should be iterated here based on the length of an array. So let us go for a for loop here. And I++ at the end of it, right? So loop sorted. Now all of you check it. I'm just going to print console.log of I. If you can print I, what is my output? Definitely index is going to be printed. It is not going to print the value of an array. Can you see 0 to 7? So, but we know that how can we access array values generally? This is array of something like here. What we have to pass? We have to pass index. So what this I variable contain? I variable contain index of an array. Index means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what index exactly. Now what I want to do in this, in place of this I, let me pass this as a arr of, can I pass 0 here? If you can pass 0, then what is going to happen? One value repeated 8 times. No, we want all the values dynamically. So you have to pass the variable I dynamically, because for every loop iteration, initially I value 0. And what is the length here? Length is 8. So 0 less than 8, condition true. Here it will come I value 0, arr of 0, 10 printed. Again loop incremented, 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1, 1. Now I value override with 1. 1 less than 8, condition true, arr of 1. That is the value of 1 in this guys here, 20. Like this, the loop is going to be iterated so 8 times, and it is going to print all the values. Now you can check the loop here and you can see all the values are printed in the array. We can write like this. Or some people, if you want, you can use document.write also here. I mean, let us go with the document.write. So then what is going to happen? The output will be on the screen. Can you see? Earlier we seen the console. Can you see now? Output is like this, 10, 20, 30, 40. And if you want to, they are all in one line. If you want to break them into a separate line, so then just use a concatenation operator with the break tag. Just let us see now. We can see all the values of an array in one by one, guys. This is also, we can see, this is how we can iterate the array values. Okay, now what I want to do here, let me take an array here, sorry, 1 minute. So let us take an element here, ul or div or anything. You can take a div here, div, and id equal to something called data. Whatever the data we have in this array, this data should be binded to that particular data, particular div. So how can we append this data? The array data, we have 10, 20, some 8 values are there. I need to iterate these values. I have to bind this data to this data. I mean, bind the data to this data ID data, right? Let us see how can we bind. Nothing, guys. In this situation, we can just go with an empty variable where txt equal to, you can take anything here, no problem, txt, an empty variable. Why? Because here I am going to use a concatenation operator. So how can we use concatenation operator in JavaScript? This is nothing but plus equal to, yes or not? So plus, I mean, before going to this, just let me explain you what is exactly concatenation operator here, right? So I am going to take here where txt, just it is going to be an empty thing. empty thing. Just this is what exactly I'm writing here. Txt plus equal to, I'm going to write welcome, right? Welcome semicolon. I'm going to write one more time welcome to JS. Welcome to, I'm writing, okay, let us have it welcome to. I'm writing one more time, this is called welcome to JS, something like this. Can you see this is? We are concatenating through 3 strings here. So plus equal to plus equal to plus equal, the previous value appended to the next value appended to the previous value. This is what. Now if you can print it, so what is our output guys here? So this is going to be, so definitely welcome to JS. This is what exactly our output will be, F12. Check the output guys, welcome to JS. All the 3 strings are concatenated and they are going to be print on the screen guys. Done. Now what I want to do here, the same concatenation process I want to implement in loop also. Earlier we written for loop, right? Let us implement the same logic here also. Let us go guys here. For, again I am writing where I equal to 0, I less than arr dot length, and this is going to be I plus plus. Here console.log, just we printed earlier. Okay, let us go directly before concatenating. So let us take an empty variable here where txt equal to an empty. So for the concatenation purpose I am declaring a variable as an empty, right? Here txt plus equal to, so the array value should be appended to it guys. So earlier we just taken a string here, so welcome to, and one more is JS, right? So now what I'm doing here, that for this same variable I'm appending the value dynamically, array of I. What is I value here? Every time I value will increments, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 0 to 7. So once 0 to 7 loop iteration, it is for every iteration whatever the value in the array, the value is going to be binded this. If you want, you can print this also. Now I'm just going to print console.log and just print a txt. Can you observe what is the values inside of it? All the values are going to be concatenated. Can you see? All the values are concatenated to this txt variable, right? So we printed 2 times here, right? Comment this, right? Just check it. Now you can see 1 time, but you want to get any space here and separator here, something like, then if you want to get, you can use some concatenation operator here. Simply we can go comma here, so comma space, then what is going to happen, 10 comma 20 comma some spaces with will become. So now what I want to do, I want to print the same txt variable to this div. How can we append the txt variable to the div on the screen? So this is nothing but get element by id, get the first element information, document dot get element by id is data. We are getting an element based on its id dot inner html. So how we can append some text to an element? So by using inner HTML property, just append text guys, that's enough. Now we can see the data will be on the screen. But did you observe, is the data was appended on the div? So if you want, you can check this in the inspect element. Can you see this is the div id data, and the data div contain 10 20 30, all the values are there, right? This is how we can append the data into the particular div also, nothing but. So what we did here, we iterated an array, we are appending the value, each and every value of an array to a variable, and that appended data we are binding to the particular div element on the screen. Now let me go with one more array. So with the we see guys, for iteration purpose you can use while loop, for loop, do while loop, and foreign loop also. Let me show you one more example with a foreign loop here, so that we will get more clarity here. Where let me have an array subjects is equal to, I just want to take some subjects list here, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can take something called Ajax, jQuery, if you want you can take Bootstrap as well. So whatever it may be, number of elements, you can just take the number of elements in the array, just try to iterate it. Here my intention is here iteration. What are the subjects you are interested, you can take inside of it. Right, so now I want to iterate. Yeah, earlier we iterated the same with for loop. I mean, but there is some numbers here. Now we have some strings. Okay, you can use any one of the loop here. No, there is no restriction for the for loop and while loop and do while and for in, and you can use any one here. But I am interested to iterate this array with foreign loop, and the data should be binded on the screen. See, this time I don't want to take this data div. Let me have a div, let me have an UL. So I am taking just an UL and UL. Guys, see, every subject. So generally why I am taking UL contain list items. I mean, what I want to say, every subject should be displayed into a list item like this, guys. Let us have an ID for this. So lists or subject, whatever it may be, subjects SUBJ or else SUB, you can take any ID here, no problem. But every item should be inside the array. Inside this li ul is nothing but li item, right? So here we can write something. So HTML I am writing statically. This is what CSS and all, right? CSS, and this I can write JS, right? Can you see we are able to display the subjects, right? List items li1, li2, li3. But this is static or dynamic? Just we given statically. I want to iterate that array. This is the array we have. All the subjects of this array should be appended to this li item. So how can I do? Let me do the same, guys. Let us have an empty variable also, txt, or you can take any variable here, right? Not only txt, no problem. Now I'm just going to with for. Here in this I'm not using for loop, I'm just going to use foreign loop. You can take any variable here. So you can take x, I'm taking in the subjects. SUBJ is it is subjects. So what is the value of x here? The value of x may be index, nothing but it is going to return the index. Console.x, just print it. You can see the value of x is going to be 0 to 5. Because we have 6 elements, that's the reason we are getting the index. Now what I want to do here, we are getting index. Now just observe this carefully. X contain index. I am writing such a manner subjects of x. Then what it contain, guys? If we can check it, so x value is 0 for every iteration. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Subjects of 0, subjects of 1, subjects of 2, subjects of 3. Now refresh it carefully. If you can refresh, we are getting all the subjects. Right now I want to see I want to bind these subjects to this UL. So UL element should contain li. So here what I want to take here, let me concatenate an li tag for this. Just I'm going to concatenate li. So li tag open. Li tag should be closed at the end of the subjects, because if you want to keep the data in an UL tag, every element should be in an li. So that's the reason I'm just concatenated. Can you see now? If you can refresh, every element was li, open, close, li and subject and open, close, nothing but. So li tag open, li tag close. Now this data we have to bind on the particular sub. This is nothing but the ID. So what I want to do here, no need to print in the console. We have to print on the screen, right? So for this purpose, I'm just going to concatenate with that variable. What is the variable here we have? txt plus equal to, this is exactly I'm concatenating. Then what is going to happen? Every subject, this is what every element, first element concatenated with the second element, third element, fourth element, like this, all elements are going to be concatenated to txt variable. Finally, you can print this also, console.log of txt. So you can understand exactly so what is happening on the screen. Can you see in one line we can see all the elements, li, HTML, CSS, every element was in li tag. Now just bind this information to this div. How can we get the element by ID here? I don't need to print in the console. Let us remove this. I'm just going to get it, document dot get element by ID. In this, what is the ID? We have sub dot inner HTML equal to so txt. Now we can see how the data will be. So can you see some error is there? Get element something wrong by ID 2 times y. Yeah, so something is wrong, guys. Here it is by ID. Yes, let us refresh the page and check it. We are getting all the subjects on the screen. Sometimes this array size may increases, may decreases, because assume this array is coming from database. So if some value is coming from database or a service, how we can read the value? But I taken this statically. Sometimes this data may come from some other services also, right? So if data is coming from some other services, we get the data. Consider we collected the data and we kept into a variable called subjects, and we are iterating. After iterating, the resulted data we are binding on the screen. Remember carefully one more thing, document.write console.log. Why we use, this is always used to just see what it contains. So we don't want to use write or console.log to print output on the screen. Right? Always try to use inner HTML. It's better. If the advantage of inner HTML is we can bind the data to exactly the specific element. If we can use document.write, it doesn't know where to print it. It directly prints to body tag. So it is always better practice to use inner HTML here, right? Okay, guys. In the next session, we are going to discuss about arrays with different examples and array methods also. Okay. Thank you, guys. If you have any doubts, please comment under the video section. Thank you all.